Hello everybody and welcome to FM Scout. I'm Mischievous Rogue and this is the second in our series of Hardest Challenge Saves in Football Manager 2017. This episode we're going to delve into Club Deportivo Leganes, who've recently been promoted to Liga for the first time. Before we do that, I like the pointing direction of my channel Mischievous Rogue when I'm currently playing as Glasgow Rangers. It's a non-biased view of Scottish football where we delve into all leagues across Europe and see how the players are developing over the seasons. I'm currently in my third season, but there's also a mixture of club guides, Wonder Kid videos and how to get work permits. If you could check that out after this, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But let's dive straight into the episode. So, Club Deportivo Leganes. You can see their captain is Martin Mantovani, which we'll dive into later on. Their vice captain John Anders Sarantes, key player Ruben Perez, and hot prospect Jose Angel Blanco. They play in blue and white at home and green away. 11,000 seater stadium. It's just, in real life, it's actually lower than that. It's about 10,956, but I suppose you've got to round it up. The professional club, not bad reputation, 2.5 stars. The fierce rivals of Getafe, it's known as the South Madrid Derby. They've got other rivals, Toledo and Fuenlabrada. Apologies to any of the Fuenlabrada fans if I messed that up. Decent finances, secure, not transfer finances, but actual finances to keep the club afloat. The owner loves the club, so you're a really passionate chairman. Value of the club's 26.5 million. Ticket price £26. Average season ticket price £224. And out of the 11,000 seats in the stadium, 8,800 are season ticket holders. You can see for a small club, they've got a passionate fan base. And the personality of the squad is fairly ambitious, which is exactly what we need at this club. Facilities, so what we got, you can see the stadium was built in 1998, so it's semi-decent, it's average condition. There's no undersoil heating, no roof, so if it happens to have a massive snow blanket in Spain, which is very rare, then the game will be called off. You'd be glad to know it's grass. I know that some teams have the crazy plastic pitch, which is horrendous, but the pitch condition is perfect, so you obviously get a good groundskeeper. But the key part here is training facilities are good, but your youth facilities are adequate, so the minute you get money, then you need to invest. Affiliates, so you're actually affiliated to Rayo Vallecano, but as soon as if you get relegated, you drop down to the next league, then it becomes null and void. You cannot be affiliate of a club in the same division. You've also got your B team, which is amateur. Again, you can loan players to them, but they play in such a low division, your players probably won't get anything out of it. But that's the sort of where we're at with who these guys are. The board. So the board, again, you've got a passionate chairman. What does he expect from you? So in La Liga, the minimum expectation is the team fight bravely against relegation from La Liga this season. So that's good. So basically, as long as you put up a fight and get relegated, you'll still be in a job. But that's not what this save's all about. You need to survive relegation and then push up to get in Europe to eventually dominate the league, which will be very hard with this team. In Copa del Rey, the minimum expectation is the team attempt to become competitive in the Copa del Rey. So, win a couple of matches, get some money, and just show fight to try and keep your head above the water as a manager. Finances, what have we got to work with? So, your overall balance is £811,000, 770. I'll say that again, I'm absolutely going crazy. £811,770. Not a lot. So you look at the transfer budget, zero. Wage budget, £176,000, and you're currently spending £163,000. So you've not got a lot of wiggle room there. And you'll realise why in a minute when we come onto the squad screen, that you're not going to have a lot of room for manoeuvre with transfers. So if we go through all the top screens, you can see the income. You can see throughout the season how much you'll make, but last month, season tickets, you only made £1 million almost, and sponsorship 912,000. So that boosted the coffers slightly. Your expenditure, any big expenditures, tax bill 206,000. You've got all the wages at the bottom, so you can see you're not paying a lot in wages. No debts, which is fantastic for a club like this. One sponsorship, so it's 912,000 for 2 years, making 1.82 million. So hopefully if you do well in the league, you'll get renewed sponsorship and obviously gain some more. So this is the key screen here. Your balance projection over the sort of next 2 seasons is expected to rise, hopefully staying in the league. Your turnover is expected to gradually rise as well. Expenditure will go up as well as you stay in the league, hopefully. Your profit loss, you're expected to lose money, which is mental if the top 3 are going positive. Your wage costs as well are expected to rise and then fall. I think they're expecting you to stay up and then go down. And your transfer budget will gradually rise depending on if you do well in the cup, if you get European competition, etc. So that is the finances. What does the staff look like? So you can see that you're not got the worst coaching squad in La Liga. That currently stands with Osasuna. They're pretty much the same for the whole coaching, everything from goalkeeper to sort of assistant manager. So your coaching staff, you get 6. Yourself, the manager, Jamie Perez Alviles, your assistant manager. You get Pedro Hernandez, coach, Perez, fitness coach, Sanchez, goalkeeping coach, and your head of youth development is Juan Dominguez. Scouting team, you have got the worst scouting in the whole of La Liga. So Barcelona's got the best, you've got the worst. You've got one scout, you've not even got a scout, he's the director of football. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce his first name, but Indias, first thing you do is get a couple of scouts. Doesn't matter how poor they are, just get scouts and start scouting the sort of low leagues of Spain and try and get some players. Your medical staff, you're not the worst. It's Ibar is the worst. You're actually up there in the middle, but you've got head physio Lanchas, you've got Carvalho physio, and Herrero chief doctor. So you've got decent there, but you've also got space for another 3. And I suggest just fill it up with some cheap physios just to keep your players running till the end of the season. Team report. So usually with the challenge saves, you can see it's always the same. Good teams will have loads of greens in the left, but weak teams like this will have loads of red, orange and yellow. So you can see that our strengths, there are only 5 of them. You've got defence depth. Midjani is one of 6 players who can play as a central defender. You've got midfield depth. You've got Karol Midjani, keeps getting mentioned. You've got a decent midfielder and Seizmanovsky, and you've got a decent amount of wiggle room in your wage budget according to them. No transfer budget. Overall depth is poor. So you get defensive depth as a strength, but also defensive depth as a weakness. Goalkeeper depth weak. So basically your whole team depth is really weak. Apart from, look at your attack midfielder right. You've got loads of them, 9. Everything else weak. You can see in the screen there what you need to buy. I suggest right backs and left backs are the first purchases. Passing is poor, aggression is poor, jumping reach poor, first touch, teamwork, strength. It all goes all the way down through the whole squad. And that brings me, when I go into the squad, what this team is actually known for. So have we got anyone in Leganes B? So look at your reserve team. Again, they play in one of the lowest amateurish leagues. You can loan players to them, but again, they probably won't get any mileage. They've all got amateur contracts. There is a few players wanted. Your best potential players, I'll show you the top 3 just so you know what we're dealing with. So red is obviously poor, yellow is average, green is fantastic, and blue is just above average. So you can see not a lot going for the Malayan Mahamadouba Conte. He's wanted to be a few clubs, but you can see he's got decent acceleration 13 and natural fitness 15. His pace is very average. Decisions stands out 14, positioning 12, his work rate's 13, anticipation 12, first touch 12, his heading is poor at 9, or average as I say 9, not too bad in this division that he's playing in. Passing 12, tackling 14. So actually you could probably in an emergency call him up to the team because he's not too bad, and he did start out at Atletico Madrid for the very beginning of his career, but he's obviously never played any games. But that's Conte. Then you've got Diego Barrios, goalkeeper. Again, he's got a decent amount of yellows, no green. Agility 12, jumping reach 14, fitness 14, 11 pace, 12 strength, decisions 14, bravery 13. His aerial reach is 14, which is good, but his commanded area and communication are average. First touch 1, that's terrible. Handling, kicking 12, one-on-ones 8, and he's work on that, reflex 11. So, to be honest, not a bad goalkeeper. I would say League 1 England material, but again, he's only played a few games and he's played no real senior games, but amateur contract. But he's the second best player in your Leganes B. So the last player we'll look at then is Alvaro Molina, the 22-year-old. He's wanted by a few clubs as well. He's on an amateur contract. Physicals are decent. Agility stands out. His natural fitness stands out, 13-14. Pace is 13, it's okay. His mental stats, aggression, anticipating, bravery are all average. Concentration, decisions 11-13 are decent. Poor determination, which means he won't develop as fast as other players. Leadership 11, positioning 13. His work rate is poor as well. Vision 6 as well, not bad. Yeah, not too bad, I should say. Vision will go up as he works on his passing, etc. Tackling 9, marking 13, heading 13. Yeah, that's as good as you're going to get for Leganes B. If you're going to call up anybody to help out, then it'll definitely be those top 3. Everybody else, I wouldn't really bother with. They've not got much going for them. Under 19s, so you can't get access to Leganes B's league. They just automatically play, but your 19s actually play in the Spanish under 19s group 2, and they're all grey. So if you want to get a team, I suggest you can offer all these guys a contract for very little money, and then you'll have a little extra pool of talent to play in that league, and you never know, they might actually become good. So that is up to you, but I suggest getting a few more players, and you'll see why in a minute, of offering these guys a contract and making them become regens essentially. So your main squad, you can see you have so many players on loan to keep you afloat, it's unbelievable. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players in on loan, and not all of them are awesome. So your squad ranges from age 19 to 32. Your nationalities are Venezuelan, Spanish, Ivory Coast, Italian, 2 Brazilians, 2 Argentinians, and Algerian. Your best player is Lopez. You can see he plays a multitude of positions. You've probably heard him. He's actually quite good. He's on loan from Atletico Bilbao. He's worth £2 million. He's on loan to the end of the season. He's scored a few goals over his career. He's played a few games, 112, scored 8 goals. But his physicals are decent, strong 13-14s. His mentals are quite stable as well. Vision 14, teamwork 15, his flair's 14, decisions 12, composure 12. So they're all average for his position. Crossing 12, first touch 15, passing 14, technique 16. So he's going to be a main man in the sort of attacking midfielder role. But that's Unai Lopez. And before we get on to the next player, I just want to mention that actually the reason this team has been chosen is because it's got the poorest technical proficiency in the whole of La Liga. So they're probably as worse players than other teams, but the fact that you've got so many players on loan to keep you afloat, and you've got the worst technical proficiency in the whole league, means you are almost certainly going to go down unless you do some drastic signings, free transfers, loanees, under 19s. It's really, really hard to stay up, and that's why this is on the challenge save. So your other prospect is a young 19-year-old wing-back, Adrian Marin, who's a youth player. He's a left-back on loan from Villarreal. Doesn't look a lot there, but slowly gets up and gets some greens with a lot of game time. He's got 15 acceleration, 13 pace, his stamina's 13, standout decisions 15, his positioning and his work, teamwork 12, work rate 12, his tackling's 15, marking 12, crossing 8. He does get better. He's only on £55 a week, which is fantastic for you. Keeps the wage bill down. But he's went from the sort of Villarreal C team up to the big team. Then he realised actually he's not that good. Back to the B team, and then you've loaned him out. So, but he's got potential. So we'll look at one more loan player. This is your left winger, Machis from Granada, 2.2 million. He's not too bad. He's international. He's got a few greens, you can see. Acceleration, pace 16, so he's going to be flying up and down the wing. Determination 18, work rate 14. That means his stats will start to rocket as he gets more game time. His finishing's 13, dribbling 12. His crossing is poor, so don't expect a lot. I would have him hitting long shots. Passing 10, penalty taken 12, technique 11. So you're going to hope that he gets loads and loads of game time and starts to go up rapid, but definitely one of your better players. So we're going to look at now your actual 3 best players before we end the episode who are not on loan. So you get Martin Mantovani, 32-year-old Argentinian, 425 grand. You can see already, determination 20, leadership 15. So he is one of your main players. If everybody else was to go and you had to call up the regens, this is your man. So he's a former sort of, you can see, Atletico Madrid B and C player. He never made it to the big team. He's been all around the lower leagues of Spain before he's came to you. He's not too bad. He's got bravery 15. He's got good marking at 14. Heading's 13. Dribbling's 11. Don't know why we need dribbling. Play the ball out of defence. Tackling 14. Good, solid defender. His technicals may not be the best, but as I said, you've got the worst technicals in the whole league. He stands out, and he does lead by example, and hopefully can keep you in the division for a year. You had this guy mentioned 100 times. Medjani, the Algerian, 43 caps, 2 goals. He's good. He's good for a 31-year-old. His stats will slowly drop and drop and drop. You can see He's been everywhere. He played for Liverpool, never got a game. Etienne, Metz, he's been all around France, Olympiacos, all around the world, essentially. Turkey, and now he's playing with you. He's got decent physicals. Okay, his acceleration 12, pace 12. He's got good strength to elbow people off the ball. Bravery 18 sticks out, determination 16 sticks out, and his work rate sticks out as well. So those two means that hopefully his stats stay steady, and if he gets loads and loads of game time you're winning, they'll slowly creep up. So you might get a good 2-3 seasons out of him. But him and the centre back we just mentioned before, them together, rock solid partnership. His marking's 14, tackling's 13, heading's 15, and his crossing's 11. Again, why defenders have got good crossing and dribbling, I will never know in this game, but that's the way it goes. But definitely a player to watch, and if you can keep a hold of him, because he's only in a 1 year contract, I suggest signing him another sort of year or two just to keep him going. And here we go, the other player that was mentioned before, you got another Argentinian, Seismanovsky, valued at $2.5 million. He's got 2 years in his contract. I suggest trying to give him another year. Acceleration 14, pace 12, not too bad, but he plays in the position that the Venezuelan boy plays in, but you can also switch him across to the right. His stamina is 12, natural fitness 12, so not too bad, but he's got decent agility, 16, 1 green at least, anticipation 14, composure 12, his determination 13, flair 14, off the ball 12, his work rate 12, means his stats will go up slightly, so he's got a good 3-4 year on him, his determination 13, his work rate 12. His technicals are actually not too bad. It's good to see someone in a team that can cross the ball, so 14, dribbling 15, his first touch is 13, decent passing at 15, and his technique is 14, so definitely one of your better players, and definitely tie him down. But again, he's played all around the world as well, Spain, Denmark, a few crazy clubs there, Sansa, I think that's in France. Yeah, so he's played for a few clubs, he's been around a bit, he's got experience, and that's exactly what you need in this team at the moment. So that's your overall squad. Not the greatest. A lot of loans. The loan players, if they don't get game time, the club will ask for them back. Will get bombard you with why are you playing them in the wrong position, why are you not playing them, and then they'll end up taking them off you. But I suggest, as I said, the under-19s, give them all contracts, very low contracts, and then give them some game time, and then you can maybe sell them, get a bit of money. But it's going to be a hard league. You'll be struggling for relegation, but if you can stay up and then you can sort of make some shrewd free transfer signings, you'll be able to make your way up in 5 years to get to Europe. So 5 years to get to Europe is the sort of the aim, and if you can stay as the boss for that long, essentially. But that is the second episode. So Leganes, absolutely brutal. They are so hard to stay up, honestly. And when the loan players start getting injured and you've got no money, you really are in a bit of a pickle, and you're having to play some 16, 15-year-old boys from a regen, essentially. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. Before we finish, I'd just like to point you in the direction of the FM Scout webpage. If you've not been on that before, absolutely fantastic. So if you want any face packs, tactics, kit, see other videos, it is really the one-stop shop for Football Manager 2017 content. I've got my face packs and stuff like that, and my kits off FM Scout. The link will be in the description below, along with my channel, my Twitter. Please comment in the video. Tell me if you've been this team before, how you found it, or you played against them, were they hard, or any comments at all. And if you've got any suggestions for another challenge save that I can do a video on, then please let me know. But as always, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully we'll see you in the next episode.